It's not a place you'd notice unless you needed to be there. Like a hospital for serious diseases, this is a place to treat addictions, a place to get better, to go back to life, to contribute to life. Driving by, you may not even take notice. It's just a red brick building among others on a blue-collar street. But this is no ordinary place. This is Harris House, a place where winning back hope starts with losing despair.
Our clients at the Harris House come to us with all forms of chemical dependency. So we treat both drug and alcohol addiction. And many of our clients, about 50%, come to us with a co-occurring disorder, which means some form of mental illness like depression and anxiety would be the most common. But we also have clients with bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, severe anxiety disorders, obsessive compulsive disorder. We've had a relative number of clients with post-traumatic stress disorder as well. So we're able to treat clients with a lot of different needs.
They come in with all kind of situations, abuse issues, legal issues, being involved with DFS. Homelessness is on the rise with women, which, it's unusual to see in the city, but it's happening, that women are living on the streets with nowhere to go. Financial issues, they've lost their homes, they've lost their jobs, no money, so they call us to try to get help.
In the last 3.5 years, the clients at Harris House have changed in several ways. The group has gotten younger. The group has changed from probably 4-to-1 ratio men to women to a ratio that's getting closer to 50-50. The group was primarily alcohol problems 3.5 years ago. Now the problems are across the board, and alcohol remains the #1 problem at Harris House that we deal with, but heroin has moved up to a strong second. The past 15 months have seen a big jump in heroin addiction in the St. Louis area, and we are seeing that in our treatment center.
I take 20 or 30 calls a day from desperate family members, concerned about their loved ones. They're afraid the person's going to overdose and die. Without Harris House, these people would have no place to go.
Addictions will find ways to feed them. It's not the alcohol or meth or heroin. It's the need for alcohol or meth or heroin. It's a disease like cancer. You might die, but with help, you have a chance. The problems are complex, but Harris House is here to help.
Harris House has gone from pretty much a standard 12-step halfway house to a more holistic treatment approach that we now use throughout Harris House. That means that we not only use 12-step, but we also use CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, and medication management to deal with client problems. Cognitive behavioral therapy is what we use in all of our group sessions. And really, that's just another way for clients to understand what choices they have based on the facts that are before them.
It's important to remember that it's not just about how many successes Harris House can claim, but that each one is significant.
The effects of Harris House go far beyond the 473 people we serve each year. Women regain custody of their children, families are reunited, residents return to the workplace and become contributing members of the community. It's the ripple effects substantial.
Every client that comes to the Harris House that I work with closely leaves a mark on my memory. One of whom is a younger female who came to the Harris House the first time in 2010. Her brother had recently died of a heroin overdose, and she herself had become addicted to heroin. She also struggled with anxiety and depression. And she ended up attending our inpatient program 3 times over the course of a year and stayed in our long-term program in between. She struggled with some relapses. But each time she relapsed, she came back to the Harris House. Just recently, she moved out into her own apartment with friends. She's holding out a steady job. She reports, a really good relationship with her mom. And, I talk to her mom still, about once a month. She'll call and just give me an update and say how grateful she is to the Harris House for getting her daughter back. And those are the stories that really, kind of give me the chills.
There's one resident that is very special to me and stands out. His name is Sam. And when he came to the Harris House, he was off his meds, he was suicidal, going through a divorce. His kids wouldn't talk to him. He was incredibly in debt, and he was using large amounts of alcohol and some prescription painkillers, and that was 10 years ago. And since that time, Sam got sober and clean, reestablished contact with his kids, went to community college and graduated, and I was there. He invited me, and it was really special for him and for me. And, we've worked over the years, as he's come back, I continue to help him. We worked on his debt issue. He's now debt-free and owns a vehicle and has a house, and his kids stay with him on a regular basis. He's in a relationship with a woman in recovery and very active in AA and very much alive.
I remember I got a call on a Sunday for a lady that her father called, wanting to get her into treatment. She had been drinking, drunk all the time at his house. So I told him that I can get her into our 28-day program. I came over on a Sunday afternoon to admit her. She was scared, crying, but she did complete our program. She went through the 4 months, and she went back to work, and she got married recently, last year, and she just had a baby last month. And I stay in contact with her. She comes here to the Harris House to speak to the other ladies, to give them encouragement and hope that there is a solution.
I was a resident here myself, and if it wasn't for the Harris House, I wouldn't be sitting here today as a clinical director. It gave me 1 year of a safe, sober place where I could learn to stay sober. It gave me a place to learn what I was dealing with, how powerful this disease was, and it gave me a place to get involved in the 12 steps of recovery.
We've been in service to our community for more than 50 years. It's safe here, but it's not easy. Pushing the demons out is hard work, but this is no ordinary investment. It's an investment in a life, a family, a community, our community. The need is great and growing, and we need your support.
When I see the miracles that take place at the Harris House, it's not like it's personal pride and satisfaction. It's appreciation that I got to see a miracle, and I got to see the Harris House at work, in the lives of the people that turn to us for help.
Harris House is an oasis for a person to come to rebuild their lives and stay here as long as they have to stay here in order to rebuild their lives.
I think one of the neatest things that I get to do here as a counselor is to facilitate a client's graduation from the 28-day inpatient program. We can all recognize the improvement. The sparkle in their eyes has returned. They smile. Not a lot of our clients are smiling when they walk through the door. Family members are beaming. They're so relieved. And just the words that people share and how articulate the client has become about and how much insight they've gained over the 4 weeks is moving. I mean, I often get teary, especially when parents or children or a spouse or partner says something at the end of the graduation, and you can just really feel, the love that was there but was really being blocked and cut off by the addiction.
Saving lives is not easy. It takes a holistic approach from many different avenues, all occurring at the same time. Dealing with an addiction, dealing with a mental illness, dealing with employment problems in this economy, dealing with sociability issues, all have to be done together. We have an opportunity and an obligation to help save lives of people who come into Harris House. And we do save lives every day.
People whose lives are playing out come to us for help. And now we come to you.